With Cosmo and Rufus changing how products get discovered, you need a listing strategy that works for both traditional keyword indexing and Amazon's new AI algorithms. In this video, you will learn how to use DataDive's AI-powered listing builder. It's a tool to create optimized Amazon listings that work with both ranking systems, as well as how to avoid keyword stuffing and make strategic updates. So if you want to try DataDive, you will find the link below in the description, and don't forget to use orange Klik coupon code to get your 20% discount on your monthly subscription.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome back to Orange Click YouTube channel. Today, you're here because you're gonna showcase DataDive's AI-powered listing builder tool, which helps Amazon sellers to build optimized listings by including high-impact keywords to compete better with their competitors. But before we start, could you first start with introduction of yourself, as well as introduce what DataDive is and how do you help Amazon sellers?
Yeah, so I'm an Amazon seller to begin with. We currently do about $15 million in sales on Amazon. We've sold over $75 million in total since we started selling in 2015. We use data to make decisions on product selection, on how we analyze and write a product, how we launch it, how we run our ads. So that data-based approach that we've been teaching since 2018 has become a software called DataDive. And so we use lots and lots of data that we bring in from many sources, and we build tools that help you to either write your listing, analyze a product and the risk around a product, or optimize your SEO in your Amazon organic ranks as quickly as possible.
Yes, and since DataDive came around, you have been also consciously all the time like being developing the tools and features like further to improve kind of the whole workflow sellers need to go through from finding the products to putting together optimized product listing, which is kind of our focus for today. So what could you share us about the listing builder tool to give us some insights how to use it better or take the most out of it?
Yeah, and I think that there was a major shift about a year ago with the way that Amazon would work. And previously, it was just a pretty straightforward algorithm for how you ranked on Amazon. So the SEO algorithm was really just based on two things, your performance and your indexing. And so your indexing strength was mostly based on how you wrote your listing. So if Amazon's algorithm would read your listing and not see a word, you wouldn't get credit for it. It would be very difficult to rank for it. So your ranking or your indexing score would be low. It would be less than 1, which means when it's multiplied times your performance, that performance score ranking, that overall ranking score would be lower than your competitors, and so you wouldn't rank. And so a lot of people didn't understand that the match type, the way you wrote your listing, where you write the keywords in your listing, all of that matters for being able to rank. But a little over a year ago, when they announced that they were coming out with AI, they launched Cosmo and Rufus, two different AI engines that are reading your listing to try to give you attribution for keywords as well. Because they would also map keywords to subcategories. So if you're in one category, you can't rank for a bank of keywords, for example, or you would be more likely to be able to rank for a bank of keywords. And now what AI is doing is trying to understand who's buying your product, what the benefits of your product are, what the use cases are, and then try to give you attribution for a bunch of keywords. And we are the first listing builder to take into consideration both of those methodologies because Amazon still uses their overall methodology of reading your listing. That algorithm is still a prominent way that they rank you.
I just wanted to kind of ask that it's not gone. Like the old way is not like disappear completely, but the new way is kind of adding on top of that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of it's extra value on top, which means that you can make your listing a little bit more readable and you don't need to keyword stuff as much. Actually, you get punished if you keyword stuff. So we wrote that in. So we've developed an AI agent that we've trained to understand the mathematical algorithms that we've already programmed previously with our listing builder. In addition, we trained it on what Cosmo and Rufus does. And we worked with Danny McMillan on this very extensively because he very much goes into the details of how Rufus and Cosmo work. Like he read the white papers, he studied it, he brought on engineers, and he went really, really deep into it. So we've programmed our agent to look at our bank of keywords, the product, the description of the competitors, and then to take all of that into consideration to understand who's buying the product, what they're using it for, and then write that into the listing to try to give you attribution for keywords.
Okay, very interesting. So it's basically understanding what are important signals for ranking today, and your tool is kind of helping to do that. Could you also demonstrate us like what's the interface of the tool, or what's kind of most important things to know about it?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So on this example here, this is a kid's binoculars set. Now, we would consider this product to be fairly competitive, right? There's a lot of different types of variations here, from educational, and they have educational elements and outdoor elements, to colorful, to, miniature. But the reality is, the way that we work is that we still want to have a bank of keywords, which we call our master keyword list, which is where you're going to take those keywords. Those are the primary keywords you should be ranking for, that drive the majority of your sales, that the majority of your competitors are getting sales from. We're going to curate that list. So what Data Dive does is it starts with what it thinks that list should be. But then we have two other buckets of keywords: the outliers and the residue. And your goal is to basically remove keywords from this bucket and then add keywords from the other buckets in order to make this list as comprehensive as possible. Now, you then take that list and you go write your listing. You then take that list, you go launch a bunch of ads, you take that list, and then you track your progress. So this master keyword list is really the center of what you need to be focusing on, because at the end of the day, Amazon is a search engine, and we need to focus on SEO and ranking for keywords, because we want all of that organic search. That is how we become profitable and successful on Amazon. So keywords are still primary and still very important. So we built the tool to be centered around keywords. Once this list is curated, let's say that this list was cleaned up and we removed any keywords we wanted, we can see here, one thing that I will point out very quickly as a side note is that this guy is getting 11,000 sales a month on his binoculars, and the next best is only getting 5,000. And the reason being is that he's got an additional 192 keywords and 1.4 million search volume that he's ranked well for. And if we go see what those are really quickly, we can get an idea of why he's getting so many more sales. You can see that he's got a lot of Christmas keywords. He's got gift keywords. He's got, all of these different generic keywords, sports and outdoor play, with a lot of additional search volume, that he's in the top 10. So he was really good at ranking for those generic keywords that most people cannot duplicate. The odds are you're not going to duplicate that. So you can understand what's realistic to sell and what's not realistic to sell from a volume perspective, and what you can achieve and not achieve. So that was just something to point out really quickly. I wouldn't bring these generics over necessarily to write the listing from the beginning. You might want to put one or two roots in there, but you want to focus on the main keywords that are going to convert highest. So what we do is we can then go over to our listing builder. And I'm going to clear this data. And you'll see here that we have those 84 keywords that we had from the master keyword list. But another thing to notice is that we have what we call roots. Roots are repeated words and phrases. So you can see that binoculars for kids, 16 keywords and 47,000 search volume have that exact phrase, binoculars for kids, in it. And if you see, it's the main keyword is binoculars for kids, but you also have binocular kids and binoculars for kids 3 to 5. So you do have a lot of different keywords that have that exact phrase of keywords in it, words in order. But you have kids binoculars, 8 keywords, 34,000. And if I'm looking for other ways people are calling this, you've got toddler binoculars, 5 keywords, 5,000, and so on. And I like to choose products where you have a lot of diversity in the way that the product is called, because that allows me to play to my strength of being able to find those keywords, index and rank for them. Whereas a product like this, where everyone calls it the same thing, it's just binoculars. And then are you calling it binoculars for toddlers, kids, ages 3 to 5, or kids binoculars? There's only so many things you can do, and binoculars is repeated many, many times. As a matter of fact, 63 of the 84 keywords have the word binoculars in them. It's very difficult. So what I would say is we just want to show you what the roots are. You want to make sure you don't repeat a root that you want to rank for more than 3 times, because you will get punished. You'll actually rank less. Very important tip. The other thing is we want to make sure that we cover all of these keywords and as close to exact match as possible. So we've got title, bullets, description, and we prioritize it based on our formula called ranking juice. You could see ranking juice. Now, if you click on the AI copywriter, you have a few options. What I would say is you want to do the math plus Cosmo and Rufus because you want to speak to both AI engines. That's the most advanced. The classic would be just to write it based on math. Cosmo and Rufus does both. Once this is writing the listing, what it's doing now is it's analyzing the bank of keywords, the competitor listings, and it's understanding what the product is. So it takes a little bit of time because it really wants to understand what is important about the product, not just based on the keywords, but also what are they going to do with the product, what's the activity, who's the typical buyer, and what are the benefits they're most likely looking for. So that took a couple seconds. AI is getting really fast. But you'll understand here that this is now the listing title. Binoculars for kids ages 4 to 8. And now we have toddler binoculars 2 to 4, children's binoculars 3 to 5. Again, not a lot of bank of keywords with a lot of diversity. But here's what it did, is it used these keywords specifically from our keyword bank, our master keyword list. And here's the methodology. The title uses the Cosmo framework by incorporating high volume keywords naturally while maintaining readability. I use semantic similarity to include age-specific variations that target different customer segments. The title flows logically from general to specific attributes, creating a comprehensive noun phrase structure that resonates with both search algorithms and human readers. So it's really trying to understand how to do the best of both worlds, speak to the AI, speak to the customer, and also make sure you hit the math to get the credit. The same is true for the bullets. It's perfect fit, exploration ready, educational, durable, and gift. So it did target those 5 attributes, which it thought were the most important. Here are the keywords it used throughout those bullets. And it says each bullet point follows the header colon detail structure while incorporating high volume keywords naturally. I use the natural language framework to create meaningful associations between product features and benefits. Each bullet focuses on a different aspect: design, exploration, educational, durability, and gift potential to avoid repetition. The semantic similarity approach allowed me to incorporate various age ranges and in use cases while maintaining natural language flow. So you'll understand that the AI is explaining its logic of how it wrote your bullets in your title, and now you can go from there. Now, if I were to do this product, I would probably incorporate some more educational elements. I would incorporate a more durable case. I would improve the design. I have an entire workshop where I've gone through that process that we just provided for your virtual summit, where we developed this product to see if we could do something better and win by incorporating what all the parents want. And what I was able to come up with was a product that had the educational elements, it had a durable case, a design on the case, a cohesive design, much more attractive for the kids to make them want to go outside and have fun versus being in front of a screen, right?
But one question, Brandon, before you continue about this fact, you said that if you repeat a keyword more than 3 times, you kind of get punished. Actually, I have 2 questions about it. So one, in the example of this product, you said there's not like a ton of variety in terms of like the routes. So I think it's quite complicated to put together a listing where you're not repeating those main routes more than 3 times. So what would be your approach? Would you still do it a little bit more than 3 times, or you're like, okay, no, like 3 is the limit because then Amazon is gonna just like punish me?
This is
in terms of, like-
absolutely a perfect question and very important to understand the details about it, because otherwise you do get punished and you won't be able to rank as high. You'll actually get blocked. So 2 things I'll say is when you use our listing builder, I wouldn't even recommend using our description. It automatically writes one, the AI. So you can come over here to the description and you can delete it, because what you're seeing here is that the description will use the same keywords or routes many, many times. And so a route that you want to actually rank for, binoculars kids, is written 6 times because it's in here. So, and you'll see that this is very readable. It's very nice, but a lot of times this is hidden behind a plus. You know, you could rewrite that yourself, do whatever you want with that, touch keywords that you don't already have. So the one thing that I would say is, if we're looking at this list, if I wanted to only rank for binoculars, just this singular word, right? This would be too many times. Now, that's almost impossible to rank well and sell on the word binoculars. It's very competitive. There's adult binoculars. There's all sorts of binoculars. So I probably would just give up on that one and use that root word. We call that root word many times. That's okay. But I do want to rank for, and I don't want to rank for kids. I don't care about ranking for the keyword kids. If someone searches kids, I don't care if I show up. But binoculars kids, I do care. So having it a fourth time can be on the edge. I will start to lose some ranking credit. Each time I use it more than 3 times, I start to lose credit. Meaning that Amazon's algorithm it has this anti-stuffing rule built into it, because what would happen is the credit for ranking would be cumulative previously, and Chinese sellers figured this out in 2015, 2016. They would write the same word 40 times, and then they would be ranking on the top of that keyword within the first couple days of launch. And so what Amazon had to do is they had to write this anti-stuffing rule into the algorithm to where it actually reduces your ranking credit when they see it too many times. And that's why we know that exists, and we've seen it. We've actually been able to help people rank by removing the keywords from their listing versus just adding more things. And a lot of people will encounter that where they're having trouble ranking. They don't know why. They're like, it's in my listing, I don't get it. And then we understand, like, well, you have it in there 8 times or 10 times. You need it in there only 3 times. So what we call a relevant route is very important. A relevant route would be one that if I search it, I would want my product to show up. So binoculars kids binoculars, I want that to show up. So I want to make sure that that's no more than 3 times. But 4, I don't care about. 8, I don't care about. And if I look down here, and I'm missing a few roots here, kids, binoculars, ages, I would probably look, you've got this word here. I only have it in broad form. Maybe I would consider rewriting the title a little bit, but based on what the AI does, it's not always, it's trying to understand everything. And this is educational outdoor exploration gift. It did try to look for other roots and give me some credit towards some broader roots that were a little bit less relevant, but maybe something I can do. Now, what's interesting is kidnoculars is probably trademarked, so I can remove that, and I can go and I can do the ages 4 to 8. So that would be the way that we would use the listing builder. We would still go in and touch it up. Bullets, description. I would make sure I don't have any gaps. What we wrote is supposed to do as good of a job as it can there, but it's not perfect. And then you'll get really close. I'd say it's going to save you many hours writing your listing, and it's going to be very, very effective, but you still need to put in a little bit more work beyond just hitting the button.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to comment, that I think the goal is, not maybe one day it's going to be like absolutely perfect, so sellers don't need to like lift a finger, but I think the amount of work it already made within just seconds, I think exactly as you said, it's just saving so many hours of work.
Yeah, and we have
Mhm.
title, bullets, description, just so you know, TBD, so you can see where the keyword is in your listing. And orange would be broad, green would be phrase, exact match. And if it has a dot, it's plural. It means it's a plural match. So it could be exact plural, it could be broad plural. Here's an exact plural here.
Okay. Very good. Very interesting, Brandon. I think very helpful for the sellers. And maybe one last question about this tool, because we already talked about how to optimize and some ranking signals. So, what are some recommendations from you to give to sellers who already have their listing, the product is up and running, and now are not writing their listing content from scratch? They already have something. Now they would like to re-optimize, but also I guess a lot of them are a bit afraid to do too much at a time. So what's kind of a good solution or
This is an amazing question. So important. Please, please, please do not go in and rewrite your whole listing if you're already launched and doing okay. If you make major changes to your listing, Amazon needs to re-index your entire listing, and all the work you've put in to accumulate positive ranks and credit might go away, and you might hurt your listing more than you help it. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I've got clear data I curate my master keyword list the same way because I can go back to the master, like let's say I can go over here to the master keyword list and I can find that I'm having issues ranking for something. So let's say I can come over here and maybe this guy is me, right? So I pin it over to the left and I can see that I've clearly got some ranking issues here on some keywords. So I've got pink binoculars. I only have one variation. I don't have a pink variation, which is why I don't have any pink keywords. Makes sense. Maybe I should consider launching a variation because a lot of these have variations. Pink seems to be, 800 searches a month. Maybe there's additional pink. And if I want to search all of the buckets of keywords, I can come over here and I can search for pink. But that's another whole class on variation development and funneling traffic and product development. But gives you an idea that there's 4 keywords here with pink. There's an additional one in the residue. You should use this bank of keywords in all 3 buckets to look for variation specific keywords. But I'm looking for gaps. I've got toy binoculars and I've got kids binoculars 8 to 12. And I've got binoculars for 8 to 12. Now, the reality is this is a much smaller one. Maybe it's for toddlers. 8 to 12 is a little bit older. Maybe it's not very specific. But it's got the night vision is pretty cool. And you'll see here that it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's specifically for that age range. They're not trying to target the later kids. They show a lot of younger kids. Now, another variation opportunity, maybe they make one slightly larger, bigger, more complicated. They can upsell it. They can try to rank on those keywords and funnel those traffic in. Or someone who has a 3, 4, 5-year-old might have a bigger brother and sister that they can also buy one for. And maybe you'll just get some sales from it. So variation strategies are very important. They increase the conversion rate, average order value, there's, and profitability of a listing. Very big fan of variations. But I would use this to probably inform some decisions. Use the keywords and the demand and work backwards from that. That's the biggest thing. But so maybe that's not good. And we got 8 to 12, but this one, toy binoculars. I mean, at this age range, these are toy binoculars, even though they have night vision, they're a little bit more complicated. I would still want to rank for that. And maybe I don't have the word toy in my listing. So Amazon's not sure that I'm selling something that's toy. And if I look here, I don't really see toy anywhere. And if I control F, I probably won't find it. And they're trying to maybe not be a toy, but at the same time, it's a pretty big keyword. And I think parents are looking for something like theirs, even if they're searching for toy. So I would still include it. And this is why they're not indexed. Now, what's interesting is if you're in the 30 to 55 range in ranks, I consider that the not sure zone. Amazon's not sure that that keyword is relevant or not. They don't know, right? So the reason they don't know is because you didn't tell them properly or that it really isn't. You have to decide, do I belong there because I really am not relevant? Or do I belong there and I need to make sure I fix my indexing? In this case, I would write toy binoculars into my title. It's a big enough keyword. I would try to get credit for it. I would make that one change to my title. I would see if I'm wasting space anywhere else. I would remove a keyword that doesn't matter, some fluff, or maybe something that doesn't matter. And I would add this keyword, just that one change. And if I look, I don't know how many times toy comes up, but it's quite a bit. We have a lot of search volume here, over 4,000 search volume. We have 143 keywords with toy, probably a lot of generic keywords with toys, like outdoor toys, educational toys for kids, things like that. We have 1,100 keywords in the residue, which is like all longer tail keywords. And if I look at what those are, you got nature toys, kids toys for camping, outdoor boy toys. Toy is a major route, and we're neglecting it. So I would go try to take advantage of that toy route. I would probably write it once in the title. I would pick another big toy route, toy plus word route, and put it somewhere else, maybe in my bullets. And that's the only change I would make. Now, when you make that change, here's what we need to talk about, because your question was really important around SEO. When I make that change within 12 hours, I'll see my ranks change. So you need to be tracking it with Rank Radar. Track all those keywords because it updates your organic rank every single day. You can see your ad performance, your SQP, you can see all the stuff. We're going to have another video on the Rank Radar so you can really understand all of those levers and everything that we track there for you. It's not just the ranks. But within 12 hours, by the next day, you'll see either an improvement in the ranks or a decline in the ranks, and you'll look at your other keywords to make sure you didn't mess them up. If things got worse, you have to go put your old listing back immediately. The damage isn't done or permanent. You can go fix it. But if it's better, now you need to double down. You need to spend some more money on ads. You need to test some ads out with those routes. You need to, try to pump it a little bit, get some more traffic so you can move those organic ranks to whatever the optimal organic rank is.
Very good. Yeah, as you said, we're gonna have another video about Rank Radar, and I think this is a perfect example also, which demonstrates how different tools of data dive work together and help sellers to not just do one single action, but kind of track and make sure everything, whatever they do, kind of goes together and supports their goal of selling more products. And also a good time to say that the link to Data Dive is in the video description below. We also have an offer. Do join and start using Data Dive, so I highly encourage to test it out. And also about all the other features they have, we have many videos on our Orange Click channel, so I would encourage you to watch them. So Brandon, thank you very much for introducing the AI-powered listing builder tool you have, and I'm looking forward to the next video with you.
Great to see you, Lisette. Thank you.
I hope this video will help you to optimize your product listings for maximum visibility. And if you want to try Data Dive to help you to do that, you'll find the link below. And don't forget to use Orange Click coupon code to get 20% discount. Also, hit like and subscribe buttons to get notifications about more videos we publish on this channel, and leave your comments and questions below in the comments section if you have any. And now I recommend you to watch another video where you will learn how to properly track the rankings of your Amazon product variations. So check this out.